President Trump unveils a new slogan, apparently trolling those four progressive congresswomen known as the Squad.
Today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Joining me now, Fox News contributors Leslie Marshall and Karl Rove. Great to have both of you.
Hi,
Great
Mike.
to be
Good
with
to
you.
be here.
Karl, take a listen to President Trump this evening on those four freshman congresswomen, and I will ask you to respond.
Yesterday, they went on the stage. I said, let me watch this. And the anger, the choice for every American has never been more clear. That's true. The Democrat agenda is anti-worker, anti-jobs, anti-citizen, anti-family, and anti-common sense.
Does that work as a 2020 campaign pitch? Angry Democrats against him, Karl?
Well, it does, as long as you keep putting out the squad in front of the camera. I watched the news conference. I was a little taken aback. Congresswoman Presley started off by saying he is xenophobic, racist, and a bigot. But let's not take the bait and engage in the same kind of language that he engages in, and then spend much of the rest of her time talking about how President Trump was deliberately subjecting immigrant children along the border to trauma, childhood trauma. He was deliberately traumatizing these young people who were in these conditions at these detention facilities along the border. So, I mean, it was like a little bit of disconnect. Let me call him a bunch of names, and then let's say we're not going to call him names, and then let me spend the rest of my time talking about something where I'm ascribing to him a deliberate attempt to traumatize children. And that's the way they are. Tomorrow I've got my column in the Wall Street Journal. I was taken aback when last week AOC comes out and says, let's get rid of the whole Department of Homeland Security. Mm-hmm. She was asked, you know, you're in favor of getting rid of ICE, and she said, well, I want to get rid of the whole department. And her interviewer, who David Remnick of the New Yorker, said, well, you know, don't you mean reform it? And she said, no, I'm in favor of getting rid of it all. And I just jaw-dropping to me. Really get rid of it. You know, people ought to be able to go get on airplanes and carry box cutters, and people ought to be able to come across the border without any border security. We shouldn't have any bioweapons defense measures put in place. We shouldn't have preparedness for emergencies and response. I mean, there are so many things that the Department of Homeland Security does that keeps us safe. And there is our, you know, AOC, the star of the squad, out there saying something that I think most Americans would sort of shake their head at and say, who are you?
All right, Karl, we'll check out that column. Leslie, I want to play a clip from MSNBC earlier today and would like to get your reaction.
If there was one strategy in 2016 that President Trump and his campaign wanted to do, and what we will probably see again, is just muddy it up, have it as ugly of a race as possible. Socialism, the squad, everyone, throw everything against the wall, and to hope that that depresses kind of Democratic turnout.
Do you think the president's trying to muddy it up?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And actually, it's been very effective for him. I mean, it would seem after this, you see his approval rating go up. You see more Republicans united against him, with him and not against him, after he did say send them back. And in 2016, if you remember, he personally attacked every single opponent of his in the Republican Party, became the nominee, became president, and Democrats were saying when they go low, we go high, and we lost. Now, I'm not saying we should go low necessarily, but I think there are those that want to fight fire with fire. To some of Karl's points, though, we have to remember that this squad of four freshman female congressional members who were elected by their district and their constituents are not the majority of Democrats in the nation or voters, not the majority of the party, don't speak for the party, as you often hear Speaker Pelosi try to put out there. And when you look at a recent Axios poll, they may have high numbers with recognition, name recognition, but they have very low approval rating among those swing state voters, and Democrats are very cognizant of that, especially the Speaker.
The other issue is that they've been slugging it out, the squad, with Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Karl, did the president make a strategic mistake by getting in the middle of their fight?
Well, there's a question of timing, but yeah, look, I agree with I agree that they are not the representative of what most Democrats are about, but they're dominating the coverage, and that's one of the points of my column. I mean, who knows what the Democrats in the House have attempted to do since they took the majority. They have been, first of all, overshadowed by the calls for impeachment, and now they're being overshadowed by the squad. And the squad is having an effect. Who would have thought that a year ago, every Democrat on that stage in the debate would have raised their hand and said, yeah, I'm in favor of free health care for illegal aliens? Who would have thought that the vast majority of Democrats running for president this year would say, yeah, I'm in favor of Medicare for all, and that means taking away everybody's health care, private health insurance? I mean, this is the kind of thing that these people are driving, and it's to the detriment of the Democratic Party, but it's hard to get them off the stage.
Karl Rove, Leslie Marshall, thanks very much.